What's cooking good looking? I've been waiting for today's game for quite some time. It's one of those indie titles that you really only stumble upon by sheer accident, and boy am I glad I did. Weaving Tides has its small issues, like most games, but its fun and unique concept really makes up for it. And bonus points, it inspired me to create my very first woven bread. Here's what you need to make it. 500 grams of flour, 300 milliliters of water, 10 grams of salt, a package of dry yeast, so roughly 7 grams, 75 grams of pitted black olives, a handful of fresh basil, which is about 10 grams, 50 grams of dried tomatoes, I use the ones in oil, if you have only dry ones, make it 35 grams, 15 grams of tomato paste, 3 cloves of garlic weighing in at about 15 grams, and some oil. Weaving Tides is at its core very similar to today's recipe. It's not overly difficult or complex, but it is very special. It was created by only 4 people over the span of 4 years. And as the name suggests, weaving is at the heart of everything you do in this game. Be it fighting, solving puzzles, or repairing the fabric of the world. It's also quite colorful, so I didn't want to make normal boring bread. Therefore, blend 75 milliliters of water with a third of the olives. Repeat with the same amount of water and half the basil. This human boy is called Tess, and yes, this serpent-like creature is indeed his father. Adopted, obviously, right? They both live in a peaceful, quiet corner of the so-called world weave, until one day their village gets attacked by some strange, evil shadow monsters. So they go on a journey to figure out what the hell is going on. And this journey slowly but surely morphs into the quest to find answers to some other important questions. Who is Tess? Where are the other humans? Why is he the only one? Not exactly an easy task. Unlike mixing 75 milliliters of water with the tomato paste. And the last 75 milliliters of water can just stay as they are. Next, pour the liquids into 4 medium-sized bowls. Add a fourth of the yeast, a fourth of the salt, and, you guessed it, a fourth of the flour to each bowl. Quickly stir the ingredients together, then it's time to get your hands dirty. Knead the doughs till they're compact and not sticky anymore, adding more flour if necessary. Place the dough balls back in the bowls and sprinkle some flour on top. Cover the bowls with clean kitchen towels, matching colors optional, and let the doughs rise for about an hour. Patience is important, not only when it comes to yeast though, but also with this game. A huge part of it is puzzles, and while some of them are easy enough, others are real head scratchers. And with it being a rather small indie title, you will be hard-pressed to find any kind of hint, tip or trick online, which I thoroughly enjoy because it creates a bit of a mystery. Or frustration, but let's focus on the mystery. Or on dried tomatoes, I guess. Cut them into small chunks. Slice the fresh basil into thin strips. Peel and dice the garlic cloves. And last but not least, quarter the olives. Oh, and don't forget to preheat your oven to 250 degrees Celsius, top and bottom heat. I love these two, especially Luz, because he reminds me of like a Viking version of the ever-delusional Don Quixote. Twirl is also fun, don't get me wrong, she has a cute accent and loves fish more than anything, but Luz is better. Let's just agree on that. You unlock these two airheads pretty early on in the story, which is great because it allows for much more varied gameplay. These two, and Kilim, they're so-called weavers. Creatures that can fix holes in the world weave and even fight enemies by wrapping them up like little Christmas gifts. They have different abilities and throughout the game you can upgrade and unlock more. The next step is actually also kind of an upgrade. Add the prepared mix-ins to the correspondingly flavored doughs, which should have risen to roughly double their size. Knead everything thoroughly, otherwise you might bite into the finished bread and just get a mouthful of olives. Next, set the doughs aside and sprinkle your countertop with flour. Half each dough ball and shape each half into a rope of about 30 centimeters. The last line I actually took straight from the game because I liked it so much. The story in general is a delight. It's not too deep or too complex like a lot of plots nowadays. It's fun and lighthearted, which is a nice contrast because at one point it does turn slightly darker. But I won't spoil anything. Some things are more fun to figure out by yourself, but I'll definitely help you with the weaving. Place 4 strands of dough in front of you. Fold over 2 of them, place another one on top, and fold them back down. Repeat this process for the remaining 3 dough strands. Yes, I know this is not actually weaving, but it has the same end result. Of course, you can always try to do some actual weaving with slightly sticky dough. I'm curious how that goes. And while you're at it, please do it directly on some baking paper. Trust me, it makes your life so much easier. This is also the goal of the guy you just saw. Celis the Mothman is a salesman you will come across quite often in the game, and he wants to help you by emptying your pockets, by selling you very important items that you will definitely need throughout your journey. Foresight is also important, which I didn't have, so my next step is lifting my artwork onto the sheet pan, which is tricky even with 4 hands. Now brush the bread with a thin layer of oil and place it on the middle rack of your oven. Sprinkle the sides with water. Then quickly close the door and bake the bread at 230 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. While I'm enjoying the amazing smells coming from this oven down there, I'm going to give you my conclusion on Weaving Tides. It's a fun little indie game with a nice story, pleasant characters, unique mechanics, and it's overall just a fun experience. The graphics are so and so, some are amazing and some are a bit weird, looking at 3D tests especially. But overall, it's exactly what I want from an indie title. The only thing that gives me slight pause is the price point, because it does feel a bit steep for what it is. I could make a lot of bread for that money. That's it for today. I hope you will enjoy making and eating this easy yet impressive looking bread as much as I enjoyed coming up with it. Like, share, comment and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. I hope your day is as good as gold. See you next time.